So this problem says that a jar contains 30 coins. The coins consist of quarters and dimes. If the total amount of the jar is $5.55, how many quarters and dimes are in the jar? Okay, so this one I'm trying to find the number of quarters and dimes, so I'm going to just allow X to be my quarters and Y to be my dimes. I'm going to look for some totals. So first I know the jar contains 30 coins. We'll have X amount of quarters, Y amount of dimes, so if I add those together, they should be 30. And then it says the total amount is $5.55. So I know I have another total of $5.55. But now I have to remember how much is a quarter worth and how much is a dime worth, because I'm going to add those up to equal this $5.55. Well, a quarter is worth 25 cents, so I can write that as 0.25. A dime is worth 10 cents, so I can write that as 0.10. And now I have my two equations. However, I'm going to go ahead and change the second equation a little bit because I don't want to work with decimals. So to get rid of that decimal, I can multiply both sides by 100. And that will make these numbers a little bit easier to work with. So then I have x plus y equals 30. And then 100 times 0.25 is 25x. 100 times 0.1 is 10y. And then 100 times 5.55 is 555. So all I did was move the decimal place forward 2. So now that this looks a little bit nicer, I'm going to go ahead and solve this by elimination again. The easier one that I think will be is to multiply this top equation by negative 10 so that my y's can cancel out. And so then I get negative 10x minus 10y equals negative 300. And so now I have those opposite coefficients like I want. I have a negative 10 and a positive 10. And so now when I add these together, my y's cancel out. Negative 10x plus 25x, I get 15x. Negative 300 plus 555, I get 255. And then when I divide both sides by 15, I get that x is equal to 17. So I have my number of quarters. Now I need to figure out my number of dimes. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and plug in x into my top equation. So I'll have 17 plus y equals 30. So all I did was plug in 17 for x. Subtract 17 from both sides, and I get that y is equal to 13. So now I have my answer. X stood for my number of quarters, so I know there are 17 quarters and 13 dimes. Okay, looking at this last one, this one says a business with 2 locations buys 7 delivery vans and 5 small delivery vans. Location A receives 5 large vans and 2 small vans for a total cost of $235,000. Location B receives 2 large vans and 3 small vans for a total cost of $160,000. What is the cost of each type of van? So my two variables here are large and small vans. I'm going to just allow x to equal large and y to equal small. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try to figure out the two equations that I have. So the two equations you should have come up with were 5x plus 2y equals 235,000 and 2x plus 3y equals 160,000. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve this by elimination again. It's already set up for it. This time I'm going to have to multiply both equations because there's no way I can multiply just one to get the same coefficient as the other. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out my y's, and to do that I'm going to multiply the top equation by 3 and the bottom equation by negative 2. And so that way the number in front of y is going to be 6 and negative 6. So I'm going to do that. 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times 2y is 6y. And then 3 times 235,000, I get 705,000. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times 3y is minus 6y. And then negative 2 times 160,000 is negative 320,000. And so now I have those opposite coefficients like I want. So now when I add them, my y's cancel out. 15x minus 4x, I get 11x. 705,000 minus 320,000 is 385,000. And then when I divide both sides by 11, I get that x is equal to 35,000. So I got my x value. I know how much the large vans cost. Now I need to figure out how much the small vans cost. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and plug in $35,000 for x in my second equation. And so now instead of 2x, I'm going to have 2 times 35,000 plus 3y equals 160,000. 2 times 35,000, I get 70,000. Subtract 70,000 on both sides. And you get 3y is equal to 90,000. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And so I get that y is equal to 30,000. So I got my x, I got my y. X was the cost of a large van, so I know large is 35,000. And small is 30,000. Okay, that is it for today. If you want to see some extra examples, those are linked below. Otherwise, you can go ahead and get started on that assignment. If you have any questions, you guys can always reach out. I hope you have a great day.